live. We are live.
Ooh,
okay. Hello, everybody. Okay, it's not on my right screen. Can everybody hear us?
Sound like a teacher I used to have at school. Oh, hello, everybody. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I reached the 2,000 subscribers.
Mate, that's really doing well. Well, 2,000 subscribers, and someone's just said congratulations on 200,000, which is
200k. I wish I had 200k.
200 times more than you thought you were going to get, but hey, we'll take that.
I'll take that. Yeah, 200k. Can't imagine how it would feel to have 200k subscribers.
That'd be like. No, that won't. That would be like sort of 20 times the amount of people we get in Second Life. That'd be quite funny.
Yeah. Never know.
You never know with all the alts stuff and all the bots start tuning in. We can have lots of people
don't want to, maybe that don't want to be on Second Life or can't be on Second Life, and then they listen to us.
Yeah.
Like, never know. They may like to chat.
Get all the secret shoppers, Lindens. You'll get all the secret shoppers from IMVU sticking their head over the wall to see what we hear, and all the people from 3DX wondering what life is like without jerking off, and the people from Metaverse are wondering if there's actually life without a flash-based virtual game, and then all the other people with Fortnite and all those other games that basically sort of come online here and thinking, what the hell is this Second Life thing, and does it involve guns, and how many people can we shoot if we go on there? So yeah. It's quite amazing the amount of people in some of these virtual communities and some of the things they get up to. So, Chris, what are we talking about? What's the agenda for today? Do we have an agenda?
No, we don't have an agenda, but I want to mention, because I just see it now, there's another issue with Firestorm. I don't know I think it's not just Firestorm, but it doesn't save the group profile for chats. So because it's one feature in Firestorm that we have. If you don't want to see the chat of the groups, they don't show up, and now I've got all these chats popping up, which is quite annoying.
I've seen that before, because I'm like you, I turn them off. I just
I can't deal with them.
I'm sick to death of thinking, I'll join a group if I want to go and buy a jacket or something, and then suddenly from having that, I've got people talking about having coffee at like sort of 3 o'clock in the afternoon, screaming good morning at me as the sun's going down and all this stuff, and they think they're being great, but actually I'm just thinking this is about a store here, and I'm getting chucked into some whole social thing, and I really don't want. And it just goes on, and even no matter if I turn it off, every time they run an update or do something like that in Second Life or on the viewer, it seems to take off that filter. So yeah, I get the same as you. It happens frequently. I just have to go back into the groups and make sure it's tagged off again. It goes away, and I get on with my Second Life in peace and quiet. It's lovely. Until every Sunday night, and then we talk to you. But there we go.
Yeah.
Congratulations on 2,000 subscribers, by the way.
Yes, congrats.
Yes, thank you. But apparently the fix for that, though, to fix those save until someone actually fixes it, because I don't think it's a Firestorm issue. You have to go to a no script area, log out from there and log back in, and that will keep the saves.
Or you could just go into the group that are making to turn it off again.
Well, yeah, but if you have to do that every day, it's quite annoying when you have too many groups.
Wow. Okay. This is a question of groups. I'm only a basic user, so I've only got the basic number of groups.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's probably. I haven't got like
69 groups.
Whoa.
600.
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
What?
This is a moment. Say that again, Denise. Was that you?
Yes, it is.
Holy!
Oh, you're so quiet.
He's got a voice.
You're so quiet, though.
What?
We can't hear you.
Well, maybe you turned me down.
Yeah, but we cannot hear her.
I can hear her.
Why can't I hear her?
Well, it's just a you problem, Clara. We can.
Thanks for that.
So the next question is going to be, is Denise going to curb her sense of humour now? Because she says a lot of quite interesting things in the chat. And now she's probably going to go all shy and coy and not say anything.
Who said, I'm not going to go quiet. We just haven't been controversial yet.
Oh, awesome. Okay. We'll go with that. My goodness.
But yes, I was telling Clara last night that, because she invited me to a group, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I have exactly 69 groups. So I'm going to have to leave a group to keep it at 69.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Was that last night?
I think so.
Last night.
Denise speaks.
Wow, your memory's awful.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Claudia, I'm with you on this one. I'm completely shocked here. I haven't heard Denise speak in my life before. This is amazing.
Okay, this is going to be the title.
You
of
are
the
neither
video.
the first nor the last.
Wow. Okay. Does the alpaca talk as well, or is it just you?
Oh, speaking of the alpaca,
Come on, just
Ah.
use-
Oh,
Okay. Oh, she's raising the alpaca. So that was one thing.
There he is.
Issues with the Firestorm. What else? do we
Okay.
have?
well, I noticed that you did another podcast on a meeting that you had with the powers that be.
Was it a podcast
Element.
or a
The
video?
leadership.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Second Life leadership
you-
team.
You were invited. They weren't going to invite you at one point, which seemed a bit crazy. And I know that you
No,
were getting a bit upset.
I wasn't invited. I asked why wasn't
Yeah,
I
you were
invited?
cast. You thought you'd been cast out, and we thought, hang on a minute, that's kind of like selection against you. What the hell have you done? And then you sort of messaged back, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, okay, we forgot," and they invited you back in. So there we go. But yeah, they apparently there's some good news on stuff, didn't they? Because I was looking at it before we started tonight. Things about Apple users and.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's a good, like they're making something special for the Mac because it has been an issue for a long time. Even though some people say they have good frame rate, I was never able to get good frame rate. But then again, I was on an iMac for years, so
Yeah.
I don't think iMacs are really.
The one thing that really interested me was you were saying that they're talking in terms of some. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just take a back step because the people are sort of sitting there wondering what's going on. Why don't you tell for the people that are new to the stream, etc., and may not have actually seen that one yet, what's going on, and then we can maybe have a little bit of talk about it.
About the Premium Plus membership, which is
Well,
extremely
that as well.
expensive.
That's well. Yeah.
That's one thing. Yeah, they removed the stipend, so you can save $105 US. But I think for Australia that would be a good amount. Maybe a couple of $100. Because for me it's about $450.
What, a month?
No, a year.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's more expensive than 1 month's share, basically. So when I had to renew my membership, my annual membership, it came around the same week. It was on the same week as my chair, so that was like about $900 for me to pay to Linden Lab.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a lot of money. Yeah.
Wow. Yes, it is. It is. You've got to take a view. If people are going to review, if people are going to view Second Life as a game or whatever, or they view it as something that is more of a leisure activity. Let's call it a leisure activity. It's going to be competing against the likes of people with PlayStations and the people that are using Steam and people that are playing other computer games, with Warships or World of Warcraft or whatever.
Well, to be fair, most of those have subscriptions, right? So
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
paying $15 a month for it, then, it's actually what I did when I started. I was playing like Final Fantasy 14 and World of Warcraft, and I had another subscription. I'm like, okay, if I cancel those three, that's $45 a month that I can spend on Second Life.
It's a lot of money, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but isn't it the same? Like if we're talking about subscription, what about stream subscriptions like Netflix? Like they say, if you join all of them, you probably spend about $250 a month in just that. Everything
know
is
someone
on subscriptions.
Do you know someone that actually spends $250 a month and gets every subscription to every channel? I don't. I know people that just get one or two.
Well, my daughter's.
Well, to be fair, though.
Yeah, because if you want
to be fair,
Yeah.
if you have if you start adding things up, like even if you go out to the movies right now, I don't know if people still go to the movie theater where you are, but it gets expensive. Like if you start looking at anything you spend money on, ultimately Second Life doesn't look that expensive anymore,
No.
Yeah.
No.
But we're paying for something here that is basically a pixel environment.
Yeah, but I did see a meme this morning, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to keep this picture because I will redo it for Second Life. I mean, if you look at the money you're spending, I've spent a lot of money. I mean, I've looked at my finance for the past, couple of years, and I was just thinking, what am I doing with my money? And I've spent a lot of money. I've put a lot on my credit cards, and I have absolutely nothing to show for it because I've spent money on clothes that I've thought, oh yeah, I'm going to buy this because I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose a few kilos for next month, and I'll be wearing that. Never wear them; they're still in the cupboard with the tag on. I bought some cat treats, thinking, oh yeah, this is so cool. The cat's going to love it. $76 after pay. Yeah, they refused to eat it. I had to give it away while I'm still paying for it. So, we spend a lot of money.
Moral of the story, sell your cat, invest the money in Second Life.
Yes.
Well, it does beg the question. We are all spending a lot of money on this, and obviously Second Life is being run as a business, and they want us to get more money. And they've got various levels that they're putting through for like sort of the basic user, and then you've got premium users and premium plus users. They'll probably have a premium double plus user or a platinum user or whatever. I don't know. Those ones. I'm a basic user. I'm a cheapskate. I don't go for these other things because I don't see the benefits of them.
Yeah, you're not a cheapskate. You're probably smart.
I don't need to have 180 groups on my account. I mean, frankly, if we have a bug, like we have a firestorm, and they all start messaging me at once, I'd have a meltdown. I quite understand why people say that's business critical to them, because it's just too much noise. What else do I get for my money? I get a Second Life house that I've got to pay a tier on, or I've got to pay something on once a month to have that, haven't I? And then I've got to furnish the whole thing. So I've got to pay money to do that as well. I know that they're probably going to give me a few Lindens to play with on the way back. Can I furnish a house on that? No. Can I go to a club and maybe tip a few people in the club on how much they give me? No. And the Second Life houses, I mean, do you ever remember that Harry Potter film where they start on the housing estate? I actually know the road, being coming from the UK, but where every house and every garden and every car is exactly the same. The Second Life houses are kind of like those neighbourhoods, and everyone gets excited. Oh, we've got a new style house.
Excuse me, isn't the neighbourhood in the UK like that? All the houses are the same?
No, that's a house in Bracknell. That's a house in just on the east side of Bracknell. In fact, the interesting thing,
it's all around the UK. Come on.
It's not. Those are not average houses.
Here we go.
They're not.
Not true. I've lived in different parts of the UK, and they all look the same. I was in London, in the outskirts of London, and the whole street, it was the same houses.
Yeah. But it's not those houses that you see in the Harry Potter movies, okay?
No,
It's
no,
not
well,
those. That's
not the same, but you know,
that's
they're all
a
the same.
that's a mid-70s style housing estate. Yeah, it is an average housing estate for the period, but you know, everyone driving a Ford Focus, as it was at the time, live in those houses. The houses are decorated exactly the same. They've all got the same lawns. They all get out and go to work at the same time every morning. It's been hysterical if they do, because they all run into a big traffic queue at the end of the road. They don't talk about that in Harry Potter, because it's Harry Potter, right? I mean, you know, it's magic, yeah. So they've got that. It's interesting. It's the person in real life actually sold the house they used in the Harry Potter movie, and they thought they were going to get a load of money for it. And I think they got about 15 grand more than they would have got otherwise. And they were so disappointed. And they said, well, why have we only got this amount? Because this is a prime location for Harry Potter. And they said, because it looks like every other house on the streets. There's nothing special about it. So, there we go. But, yeah, getting back to Second Life, the houses are very much of a muchness, aren't they? There's not a lot of scope for individual customization.
But the point of the membership, I think it's good if you're brand new and you have your own house, you have a little bit of Lindens every week. I think for someone joining it's good, even if they do it for 1 year, just to find their bearing in Second Life.
My first couple months I was premium and I had a house and I really liked my little house.
Yeah, so as someone relatively new to the platform, my issue with the Linden homes is they're not customizable at all. You know, you have the pre-made thing, and then you can't even paint the walls individually. I mean, you get a color scheme. You can't modify the internal layout. I remember. I mean, one of my gripes has always been, why don't Second Life houses have bathrooms? Like, what's wrong with people? And it is the case with the Linden homes. Like, they don't have bathrooms, lots of them. So I wanted to add one, and I realized the thing wasn't modifiable. So, you know, that's part of the issue. I agree with what you're saying, Andy. On the other hand, you do not pay tier for them. Like, there is a size, you know, that is included in your subscription. Like, for example, I have the middle one, like the premium, not the premium plus or whatever. And I get like a 1024 Linden home, and I'd have to pay tier, or I could get land, and you know, if it's within the 1024, I don't have to pay tier. So
yeah, the thing is though, I mean, if you are a new person to Second Life, you suddenly get thrown these options. Well, you can have a house, you can do this, you can do that. They don't know, if they're new to Second Life, if they are genuinely new, they're not going to know what all this stuff means and what the benefits are. It's just a list. And they might say, okay, I might see the advantages of having more groups if I really want to get into groups and talk to communities. Or I might want to have a bit of money back in advance. That's always of interest to me because I'm going to get some Lindens back. But hey, I'm spending Lindens out in the first place. So what's as a noob might ask themselves, so what's the advantage? Why would I need to bother with all that? And I think, and this is something I have a personal opinion of, and it's just my own personal opinion. When I'm in Second Life, we have a very insular, myopic view of what we perceive Second Life to be, what the advantages are, what the disadvantages are, what people will be looking for when they join Second Life. But if you take that aside and you think, okay, if I'm just completely new and I don't know really what the importance of this stuff is, why would I suddenly want to spend and put myself on a subscription for something I don't even know anything about? So what I would like to see is maybe, from just my point of view, is maybe some of the people that are coming up with these great ideas in marketing and stuff and trying to generate additional revenue, which is, okay, you know, they're in business, they want to try and do that. But they're not actually telling people and giving the advantages across very well of actually doing it. They're not making a okay, let's talk sales talk. They're not making a unique selling point here, and they're not making a persuasive argument for actually getting people to be interested in these options. And that's, I think, a shame.
Well, that's a good idea. That's a good point, though. I like that because they should be asking us for ideas.
And I'll be going something else. I'll go one step further on that, because if I'm suddenly a new person coming to Second Life and I said, oh my God, I'm hitting with something that's going to be costing me $400 a year, what am I getting for $400 a year? I could go and buy myself a damn good PlayStation or, a whole series of games or something like that in preference to using something like Second Life. So what's Second Life giving me that these aren't? Because I could do a hell of a lot with a PlayStation. Yeah. And that's the sort of argument I think the people in Second Life have to think about. Let's stop just thinking internally of, oh, we're great, we're Second Life, we've got all these options, we can do all these things. And oh, by the way, if you're a new person, you can have a premium version which can give you X number of groups. A new person hasn't got a clue what a group actually is or what the advantages are. So giving them 100 more than somebody else means nothing to them. Let's give them a persuasive argument. Let's make it compelling. Let's make it persuasive. Let's make it unique and make them want to invest in it. And that, I think, is...
Yeah, I'd be curious to see the retention metrics, like what percentage of the people who create a new account actually stick around. I suspect they must be abysmal because the new player experience is absolutely atrocious. So if I were to work on one thing, it would have to be, like, I would say it's hard to make Second Life on rails, right, because of its nature. But you have to design, like someone who understands, how to create retention has to design maybe the first, 2 or 3 hours in Second Life so that you get the basics and they have to, for example, I think the Avatar Welcome Pack, I was saying that, Chris, on a comment on one of your videos. The Avatar Welcome Pack was a good move, but it needs to go a lot further. You need more options. They're using it basically as a demo and then telling you, well, if you want the full version of this, go pay for it. Yeah. Whereas it should be, listen, this is a baseline for you to be able to insert yourself into this world. If you want to get more customization or personalize it further, then spend more, and that works. If you look at every other video game, even the ones that charge you a subscription, they do that a lot of the times. Like they'll charge you for extra customization. People will pay. But you have to entice them to want to stay there and actually want to spend. It's not I'll give you this little tidbit for free, and it doesn't even work right, because if you put it on something that doesn't have alphas, your arm's going to be sticking out of the shirt. It's like, that's not right. It's not going to work.
And guess what? They've got a perfectly good 15-year-old avatar looking at with the classic things. It doesn't have those options on it, and it's working quite well for them. So what's the compelling argument to basically think about making an avatar that looks more modern and up to date when it's so fraught with problems? I get it. I get it, Denise. I agree with you. So, again,
I think it needs to happen. So, and what you're saying about housing is absolutely correct. I would say, though, that if I wanted to, like, if I were to start out in a place where, okay, how do I get this to grow and for people to stay? I think the first thing is you can't nickel and dime them. Like, if you are going to say that it's free to join, you need to provide something that people actually think is valuable, and that will stay valuable at least for a little while before you feel obligated to go spend Linden. Like, okay, fine, get people to spend Linden, but, do it by showing them, look at how much more you could have, as opposed to, well, you have the bare minimum now, and you look like everybody else. There's only like 6 presets, and if you happen to want a white avatar, then there's only 1 preset of each gender, so you're not gonna get what you need.
Yeah. And the other thing about it as well is, we're talking about these clone housing estates where everybody has the same type of house, so you can't really customize it. If someone wants to go looking at houses and they come across the marketplace, for example, as an example, or they then start doing a search if they figured out how search works, and let's assume that they can know how those things work. They come across some other, places that build houses and sell houses to people. And, there's a fantastic variety of different houses you can have there. So if you are a new person, Second Life, why can't I have that house from, say, Trump Loyal or something like that, as opposed to this bland cardboard box type thing that Second Life are giving me? I want that. But hang on a minute, I don't even need the premium to have that other house. I could just basically rent or book a little parcel of land, buy that and drop it on that. So where's the persuasive argument therefore saying, okay, I've got a Second Life house I don't like, I might want to have one of those other houses, and I don't need to be spending for the premium and everything
Well,
on there.
I liked my little house. It was a little Victorian style house, but like that was before I knew how to create and build, and before I knew
I think
other
when
houses.
you first start, it's great, and then you grow, you learn about Second Life, then you move on to something better.
Yeah.
But
it's not a cardboard box. It's not the most updated thing, but it can. You can pick something cute, and if I remember right, each land has a variety of like 4 houses or something, and when you start on your little parcel, you can choose which house.
They're all horrible. I mean, I don't like the floor plan of any of them. I change, any houses I've tried.
I liked my cute little house.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing.
If I didn't like it, I didn't really have a choice.
And let people customize the layout inside. Like, okay, you want to keep external consistency, but inside, let people put their walls where they want to put their walls, put their doors where they want to put their doors. And that would add a lot. And it's like you already have the infrastructure in place. It's not like, oh, well, we don't have a tool for you to be able to move the wall. No, you have the tools. You just have to allow people to do it. And the other thing,
make walls and things for the Linden homes, walls and decks and all kinds of stuff.
But for example, another thing, and I think this would be a fun in between. I don't know if there's a market for it. I know I would be a market for it. One of my complaints, let's say, right? So I just bought more land and I set up an apartment. And one thing that I would like, when I started figuring out what I wanted to do, it was like, okay, I can rent on a populated sim that has like landscaping and it has roads and I'd have neighbors, and those tend to be preset, right? But it's like, I get that the Linden home idea was for you to also have neighbors. You have a neighborhood. You can drive around. You can go around. There are amenities. I'm not sure how populated they are because there's a lot of them, right? But I think a good in-between might be, well, listen, here's this preset neighborhood, kind of like on The Sims. And here are the lots, and we sell you the lots, and you can put whatever you want in there. So then you can put your house that you want instead of having to get one of the presets. I don't know how that would work, but I think that would be interesting. And it would offer something alternative to having to hunt down land that's completely disconnected from everything. Or you'll be in a region that doesn't even have a road. So your house is like in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah. And actually, it will make it more interesting, won't it? Because suddenly, rather than going down a featureless road where every house is a clone of each other, you've then got people that are, they have a parcel of land. They can put their own design from a selection of different designs on that parcel of land. So as you're going down the road outside these things, you're seeing lots of different designs of houses and things. It makes it more interesting. It makes it more compelling to want to stay and go exploring, doesn't it, really? Otherwise, you're just going down a featureless road with everything looking the same, and that's not compelling to everybody, unless maybe to some people, but I think the vast majority would like things to be more interesting and different and eye-catching, I guess.
Yeah, a little house that you can't customize and it's already there and stuff. That'll only make some people happy because some people don't want to mess with that stuff and newbies don't know how. But it's not going to make most people happy, I think.
Yeah, no, but I think in the long, as a noob for the first year, I think that's a good idea. So I'm all for it. I mean, then the Premium Plus is just, I thought the Premium Plus was mainly for creators because it has the free upload, which creators would need. Sorry. And
but here we are. Here we are in Second Life again, where we're all saying, "Oh, this is a really great thing. This is a really good thing. Oh, this is really great." A new person isn't going to appreciate that. They'll think about what's going to be great for them, not necessarily great for the people that are already in the community. So, in a sense, we're all sort of patting our own backs and lauding ourselves. Okay, this is going to be a really good thing. This is going to be a really good thing. And actually, we're not necessarily looking at it from the point of view of someone completely fresh. That's looking at the whole thing and saying, you know what, that looks a little bit naff to me. I won't bother. And that would be a real shame. So
I think the first thing they need to figure out if you're gonna retain newer people, and this is true even for older people, maybe especially for older people, is you need to get the UI thing under control. UI is horrible. Like, accessing your inventory, finding stuff, it all feels super cluttered. Like, they need to make like a simplified menu or something to make it easier for people to get to the key stuff.
I would like to see, I know that there are a lot of technically minded people that are using Second Life, and there are a lot of people that like to feel technically minded that are also using Second Life. And I think in a sense there is almost a tendency to overly complicate matters for the sake of making it look more technical. And if I'm a new person, that would scare the living daylights out of me. I'd rather go to something where I can just key in, bang, my avatar pops up, I can put a house there, I can click on that thing and put that tree there or that sofa in that room there. And if the sofa's too big for the room, I'll move the wall of the room internally to make sure I can still accommodate the furniture, and it just fits. I don't have to go trolling through how many screens have we got on Firestorm right now, for example. If I'm going through the inventories and I'm going through all the options and preferences, it's great to have that flexibility. But if I'm a new person, that's just too much. That's too complicated. I don't need to know that. I don't want to know that. I want to get to learn Second Life and get out and play the game, or use the whole thing in anger. And I can't, because I'm looking at menus that are, if I look at the preferences menu, I'll bring it up while I'm talking to you. I look at the preferences menu on these things. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 subfolders within the main preference screen. That's just on Firestorm. I'm using Firestorm as an example. I know not everybody uses it. But I've got 17 things in it, and I've got sub-menus inside that as well. And if I click one of those things is going to make some fundamental differences to how we do stuff. If I'm a new person to Second Life, I look at this and think, what the hell's all that? I'd much rather literally come in and literally start talking to people. And they'll come in as a new person and they'll say, yes, you can do these things. Go to your folder and do these things. But that's assuming you know where to find that folder, and you know that you have to open that folder, and you know how to open that folder. Some people don't know that. So in a sense, again, I think we're being a very insular society and community when we start talking in terms of new things in Second Life. You've got to go to this option, change that menu, do this drop down, check that box, go back in, do this, reconfigure this thing, apply that part of it. It's just too complicated for the average person that is brand new as an experience. It's cluttered, it's complicated,
Yeah, I figured it out pretty quickly.
They don't have to go through.
I figured it out pretty quickly, but it's because I have experience in modding video games, right? And that helps because obviously I know how to tinker with stuff. So, I was able to get it, but yeah, I absolutely agree. The experience is completely horrible for new people. It needs to be improved. And for example, like even something as simple as changing your preset easy, and adding something like a character creator in any other, let's call it video game, even though it's not one, but, having like a character creator and having like 5 hairstyles or 6 hairstyles that you can pick from and a couple of faces, and something to make like body presets easy that will pick your shape. Stuff like that to help people, get going. Because the main thing is you see this menu, you're overwhelmed, and God forbid you accidentally unequip everything. And all of a sudden you are this weird thing, and you can't even put your stuff back on. That's terrifying for a new player. Like it's the quickest way. Or for example, I remember, I started messing with the UI and I right-clicked something. And I saw that I could close it, but then I didn't know how to open it again. And I'm like, oh boy. So I started looking it up to see how I could open it again. Like that has to disappear in order for new people to not feel discouraged, A new person is going to turn up in a welcome center and they're going to say, oh, you've got one of these basic classic avatars. Do you know you can go to your welcome pack in your folders and you can apply a whole new set of things which are quite modern and up to date, and it'll make you look so much better. You're thinking, okay, great. You don't know where that folder is. You don't know how to apply any stuff in that folder. Regarding what James is saying in chat,
what's in there. There's nothing there. You've got to have a technical ability to know where to find this stuff and do it. And in a sense, the people that are in Second Life assume that you have that knowledge, and of course you don't. So eventually,
and look at what James is saying in chat, where he's saying, "But we all managed it once upon a time." You sure did, and you could also play games back when you didn't have a Windows operating system. And guess what? Much fewer people figured it out. Maybe that's part of the population problem.
Yeah, but
that it's not easy to get into.
I came back in 2008, and it took me a while to understand everything, and that was back in 2008. So I had a friend, a real life friend, who showed me the rope, and that was great. When I quit and then came back in 2016, and I had to understand the material body, it took me a while. I can't imagine, yes, we did have to learn somehow, but joining today, damn, that's scary.
I've been to other virtual worlds. I've talked to people in there that have come to Second Life, and the feedback I can give you from that is for every person that signs up and stays in Second Life, there are 9 others that don't bother because they say it's too complicated, too cumbersome. Yeah, the stuff looks great, but we can't get it to work. We'll go back and we'll do the stuff that we've had from elsewhere, and that's a real shame. It's only when they come back later you say, "So why did you come back? Why did you not stay?" And they said, "Because it was horrible." And that's before they start getting in terms of the attitudes of the community and how open people are with people. And we've had conversations about that on this series in the past, so I'm not going to open that line up right now. But we have a whole a very technically minded community in Second Life, and one of the reasons that Second Life is the way it is because that community is technically minded. You yourself said, Denise, you came from a gaming modding point of view. Not everybody has had that benefit. So from the average person sitting in the average sitting room in their lounge somewhere, they're going to come to Second Life. They're going to say, "Hey, this looks really cool, but I can't make it work for me." And eventually they'll just give up and find something else.
Oh, 100%. Like for me, it was also easier because I did my research before coming. So I saw videos, I knew what was possible, I kind of knew the step-by-step, right? So I kind of knew where I had to go. Like I was telling somebody, right off the landing zone, I went to Lelutka and I went to get the Maitreya body because I knew what I was looking for, But... Yeah. Obviously, that's not the experience of most people.
Yeah,
if you don't come knowing the end, if you don't come knowing what's attainable, and you just have to figure that out based on what you're seeing, you're not gonna know. You'll see an avatar, you'll be like, "Oh, that looks awesome," and then you're at the mercy of that person even telling you, like, "Listen, right now, I'm a fan of those little HUDs that are called like, what is she wearing?" Because then I can, without having to talk to the person, I can see what they have. Because a lot of people, they get very defensive about helping you. They're like, "My avatar looks awesome. You're trying to steal my look." And they won't tell you what they're wearing. And I'm like, "What the hell, woman? Like, come on. I'm not asking you to give me like your shape keys or whatever. All I want is to know what that face texture is." "No, you're trying to steal my stuff. I found it. You find it yourself." It's like, that's not the attitude.
Yeah, I never understood that. That's what fashion and trends are. You see it on your friends or you see it on TV and you're like, "Hey, I like that. I wanna wear that too." And it's almost the exact same thing here.
Yeah. I mean, you've got all these menus of things there. It would be great to have you're right, Denise. It'd be great to have a simplified menu that you could just point click and put the thing on there. I mean, let's be honest. If they only go out, if they want to be adventurous and buy something new to customize their avatar, assuming they know what they're going to be buying, because if they get even the newer stuff that's been coming out there, they're only getting a budget, well, not budget version. They're getting a cut down version. To be able to do anything with it, they've got to increase that to being the full-blown version, and that isn't, I think, very clear to people either. They don't appreciate that they're getting only a low-grade version of what they've actually got, and to do something in anger with it, they need to be able to upgrade to a full version of that. That then means that they've got to go and buy something, and there's a couple of issues that they've got with regard to that. So firstly, there's the credit element. As a new person, I do remember. I can remember this myself, being frustrated when I knew what I wanted to buy and I knew what I wanted to try and put on my avatar, but I couldn't do it because I was being physically constrained by converting more currency and buying stuff because they won't let me buy it. So in a sense, my experience was being constrained by the fact that they're saying you are limited by the amount of money you can actually spend on getting your avatar straight. And I thought that's just nuts. So I had to sit there hanging out in sandboxes and waiting a month and going through the whole thing to get to the credit limits. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sound the richest person in the world, but frankly, I have got a credit limit which would easily enable me to get what I wanted to try and do. And the rules are, as a new person, you don't have that ability. So that, you've then got a situation where you've got some wonderful looking people walking around you. You want to look like them. You want to understand how to look like them. You want to know where to get the things from that they're wearing to be able to look like them. And then you suddenly find that the whole game itself is actually constraining you and saying, no, we don't want you to look like that because we don't allow you to spend the money to be able to have that. And I'll go one step further on that as well, because the whole acquisition process to a new person is incredibly cumbersome. What is this whole idea about? I've got to buy something. I then get an attachment in my folder. I've got to attach it to my body or throw it on the floor. I've then got to open it to then reapply the folder and then reapply the relevant file within that folder to my avatar. That is really complicated for someone that is new to Second Life.
Not just that, you better add it and not wear it, because if you wear it, you might be in trouble. And it's like, okay, so how do you learn it? A lot of the stuff even says in parentheses where. It doesn't even say add, and you're supposed to add it. But how do you learn that? You learn it either from other people or because you see you're overwriting all your stuff. I learned it from someone else. Like somebody helped me out because I kept hitting where, and I'm like, okay, why doesn't this look right?
It's just mad. And people don't understand. People that are new and they don't have other people want to talk to them because they're new accounts and they might not have confidence in them, or they might accuse them of being bots or alts or all the other things that are out there and all the reasons that people give for not talking to new people.
Yeah,
where are they going to find that information? Where are they going to find that? Where are they going to find that information from? They can't.
Yeah, several times I was out and about as a newbie, like less than a month old, and people would just straight up be like, "No, I don't talk to alts," and they would block me, and it's like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Hey, that's not a sheep. That is an alpaca or a llama. Thank you very much. How dare you?
It's a cool name too.
It's they use the alpacas come from South America, and actually the people in South America use alpacas almost like guard dogs. They put them in with flocks of sheep, and actually they can be quite aggressive and quite defensive for the community that they're in. So they can get themselves quite attached to their flock of sheep and guard it, just like a guard dog, and they do them that way. It's not like a camel, for example. I mean, we were laughing about something that cropped up in the news about a camel in Australia and how this camel got very amorous with its owner. I'm not going to go too far into the details because this is a family show and this is YouTube. But needless to say, the camel got very, very friendly and very attached to its owner.
Yeah, the link of this article is in last week.
Podcast. Yeah, if an alpaca did that, you'd survive. If a 300-pound camel did that to you, you'd get squashed, which is actually what happened. So, in fact, I remember the note was they said alpacas are more expensive, so because camels are in Australia anyway. This whole thing happened in Australia. They said camels are cheaper to buy than alpacas, so we got the owner a camel, and it was the camel that this is when the problem started. Because I say when the camel started getting very friendly, it ended up squashing the new owner. There we go. So sorry, we digress. So back to the new experience and these wonderful new incentives that they've got on there. I guess the other bit was a bit more interesting though, Chris. The fact that if you're an Apple user, you've got a whole lot of functionality and performance advantages. Am I right in thinking I'm not technically minded person, but you said anything with an M chip? Is that right?
Yeah, that's what they said.
What does that mean?
I don't think that.
I don't know. I don't use Apple. Apple is for weird people.
Pris, are you there? I think
She fell asleep again.
No, I'm trying to
She fell
mute
on her door.
myself so that we don't hear too much background noise when Andy is talking.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, we like hearing it when you slam the door, and we like it when the guys rev the cars up outside. But you said that the new things coming through on Apple devices. You're saying if anyone's got an M chip, basically an M grade chip, they're going to see some massive performance advantage. Is that right?
Yes. I'll have to try because I've got a Mac Mini. I don't use my Mac. I've got a Windows now.
Because the reason I'm asking is they're putting those M chips in phones now.
What kind of
is that?
What?
Yeah.
What is this?
Is that therefore something that makes, if you've got an iPhone, for example, that means that you're going to have something that's going to work a lot better? Or an iPad, for example, is that going to make it more functionally easy for you to be able to use it on that kind of a device?
No, I don't think so. Because
Probably a processor, Clara.
Yeah, even though it's a name chip in the phone, it's still not the same platform as a computer. So you can't have Second Life. We've never been able to have Second Life unless it's on the Zero.
You could put it on an iPad though, couldn't you?
No, you can't download Firestorm and open.
But isn't the new mobile app they were talking about going to be something that was iPhone or iOS compatible?
That's the app. That's a different thing. All they're saying is that Apple computers, MacBook, iMac, that have the M chip, it will have better performance because if you go on
they're putting the M chip in they're putting the same chip in the iPhones and the iPads too.
But
so
it's still not the same platform. It's an iPhone.
Yeah, okay.
It's an iPad.
Agreed. But if you're using the app, it therefore means that you probably see some vast performance advantages using a device like that. If you're using the app,
possibly.
So if you read between the lines, that's another advantage. That's going to be quite a big advantage for people that are using those devices on a mobile basis to access Second Life. So think about that. That's something which was mentioned in your podcast, but you didn't take it far enough, I think.
Because
that's something different.
They didn't mention nothing about the app, the mobile app. So maybe I don't know, but the mobile app is still crap anyway. Whether it's on Windows or on a Samsung or an Apple, the mobile app is not good anyway. So
that's another thing that I'd love to see. Like Second Life, you know how Steam, if you use Steam, it has like the functionality, then you can just do the chat on mobile. I'd love to see something like that for Second Life that actually works and doesn't try to load other stuff. So you could actually chat within Second Life from your mobile. Something like that actually works. Because that thing that they have is clunky.
Did they have something like that a few years ago that worked on Android?
I don't know.
Did they have that?
I have no idea. But if they did, that would be awesome.
The name of it's on the tip of my tongue. I know people are still using it. I know that it got removed from the Google Play Store.
Second Life Mobile? Yes, that was on Android a couple years ago.
It wasn't that. It was an independent app that people were using. It was for Android. It wasn't for iPhone. And a lot of people were using it, and they could connect. They could even see and talk to people on the whole thing. But it was ended up being removed from the Google Play Store. Yeah, it ended up being removed from the Google Play Store because they said there were some security concerns with regard to it. But hey, if a person in Ukraine or wherever they were from can sit down and write a thing like that and do it off their own bat, how hard can it be for someone in Second Life to do the same? And just produce something that's up to date that gets around those security concerns. There are some challenges there. I don't see why they can't do it.
Some people just want to use it to chat, so they don't have to log in, but they can still chat to their friend. But
that's what I'm thinking.
Lumia, that's it. Thank you, Ravenna. That was the one. It was Lumia. I know it was someone from Eastern Europe. So yeah, Lumia was the one I'm thinking of.
Well, there was one called Speedlight for Android where you could see a little bit, but it was like basic shapes, very basic shapes. Like a couch might be a little pyramid.
Lumia was the one where you could actually see the avatar on the screen. I mean, admittedly, it's cut down. It wasn't the full experience, and
you could
frankly,
see
you would
like a
expect it to
stick
be.
figure on Speedlight.
Yeah, but a stick figure is not. It basically means you can just deal with chat.
I don't think they were using it to actually, like, I remember some friend, they were just logging in. They didn't have a computer. They were at work. They just wanted to log in because we were all there, so they could participate and see the chat.
But hey, if you've now got Second Life being produced on an app that basically is favouring the use of, say, an M2 chip or something like, or an M3 or M4 chip that you've been getting in the Apple devices, and speeds it right up, it might then open the door to making something that provides a decent mobile app with the functionality, not all the functionality, but the day-to-day functionality that people find that's important to be able to use. And then suddenly, Second Life can go mobile. Or use it on an iPad, on those kind of things. And all they're then got to do is basically to replicate that into an Android. And suddenly, that would be a game changer for Second Life.
Yeah, but that's what they're trying to do, though, with this mobile app.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's progressing much. I don't know if people can actually...
Oh, it is. Well, IMVU was dying back in the day, and they managed to write a mobile version of what they've got there, and it completely revitalized the company.
Yeah, but IMVU doesn't use the same power that Second Life uses, though.
I'm going to beg to differ with that.
Really? Because when I went on the IMVU to do that video, I didn't feel like I was lagging like in Second Life, but they don't have the same details of elements that we have.
Okay. Hang on. Let's not draw direct comparisons on appearances and stuff. But I will say to you, having spent a number of years on IMVU long before I came to Second Life, they actually use the same software. For example, the body shapes, avatars, the sliders that you get with regard to that is exactly the same on both. And actually, at that time, IMVU was basically the junior version of Second Life. Second Life was for the adults, and IMVU was for the teenagers. That was how it was always set up, and it didn't change because we had a lot of adults were then coming into IMVU and starting to talk after kids, and it all got very, very stupid. And they had black market stuff and putting adult content on there. It got crazy, but then they wrote the mobile app later because people getting confused that they couldn't do what they wanted to do end up coming onto Second Life because they could find they could do more. They had less controls over them, so they could have more freedom from that point of view. And then Second Life, as I say, went away and they wrote a mobile version of what they got there, and suddenly the whole population demographic, i.e. teenagers and young people that like to use these kind of devices, these kinds of things on the hoof, or in a room, on a train, wherever they want to try and do, they found that they could, subject to having a signal, they could actually do it, and that completely revitalized IMVU. Yes, okay, it's different now, but hey, one of the things that they criticized IMVU for back in the day was they said, okay, to get around, you can't walk around like you can in Second Life. You have to jump from a pose ball to a pose ball. Guess what? I jumped into Second Life, and the first time I went to sit down, I clicked on a sofa, and what popped up? I went to dance in a nightclub, and I hit the dance ball, and what popped up? It's the same system, Pris. It's a different, it's evolved in different directions now. Agreed, but in those times, it was fundamentally very, very close to each other, and they were using elements which were the same. So I don't wash when I say that IMVU is completely different now.
So before I came to Second Life, I actually funny thing. I was in Final Fantasy 14, and a friend of mine showed me a picture of a character from 3DX chat. Honestly, I'd never heard of it. The avatar looked pretty good though, and when this person told me about it, and it was a subscription service. I tried it out, to be honest, and I think if Second Life managed to do that with with the avatar creation, something similar to what 3DX did, that would be a really big thing.
Yeah, I mean, 3DX evolved in a different direction, though. They went very much for the adult content, and that's what they've always been.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about specifically the character creation, because what they did works for a different reason, right? Since you only have one body type, it's very easy for animations to work, which isn't the case in Second Life. I mean, if you don't like to see clipping in Second Life, you're in trouble, because you're gonna have to go for very specific sizes for every different animation type, right? Not the case there. Everything fits perfectly.
So here's a radical idea. Why don't we have an interface like they had in that for the new people that don't understand this whole folder structure and applying things and all the other checkboxes and things that the technically minded of us can actually do? Don't get rid of those checkboxes and all that technical stuff out there as well, but at least have a basic interface so that people can just use that interface and get themselves going. And then if they want to try and customize it properly, they can go back into the preferences and the drop-down menus and all those tabs and stuff you get when you click on preferences and avatar in the viewer. And then they can go and really get down into that stuff. But at least they're up and running. Yeah, like a simplified view. Yeah. I think that'd be a great idea. Or maybe I'm just being trouble. I don't know. Oh, here we go.
Sorry, give me a second. Give me a second because I am busy intensely judging games here.
Why are you judging James?
Feel my judgment.
I'm seeing the chat here about Clowny being judged for wearing a red nose. Clown, well, come on, Clown. Every clown has a red nose. You can't get judged by being, by having a red nose.
I judge him, but I'm allowed to judge Clowny.
How do you judge Clowny then? Judge him as a person, or do you judge him as a clown?
Yes.
Because he's a clown.
Yeah, I know.
There we are.
I know. I'll have to make it fun.
Actually, behind the avatar, behind the whole clown experience and all that other stuff.
No, in real life, he wears a clown. He wears a red nose too.
He's a pretty sound guy. He's a pretty sound guy actually, but he does stuff and he does stuff tongue in cheek, and he has the red nose on these things, and you can see him in the chat. You can see his personality coming through on the chat right now. But yeah.
Oh, poor Clowny. Let's have a minute for Clowny. Poor Clowny.
He's alright. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, people have a right to express. We've talked about this before. People have a right to express themselves in whatever way they want to, and that's great. Clowny likes to be a bit more tongue-in-cheek, but he's a pretty sound guy. He does some fantastic photographs as well. For those of you that ever go and have a look at them, but yeah, he's out there. He does these things. He chooses his appearance the way he wants to be. He doesn't enforce that appearance on everybody else, which is great. And I think that's something else where we talk about people that have their own forms of role play and their universe which they've constructed within Second Life. So this isn't true of me. I'm just using this example. I can be into gothic horror and like to live in a castle with blood red skies, and I've got a family of vampires that live in there, and maybe a family of werewolves that roam around the thing around the bottom there, and never the twain shall meet. And I can live in that universe quite happily if I'm doing that kind of role play. If I want to come out of that role play and go into the average club in Second Life and start to talk to other people there, and I'm still looking like this gothic horror character which I've fabricated, do I have the right to assume that everybody in that place that isn't part of that role play should then treat me with the same deference and fall into the role play simply because I choose to look different? I don't think that's quite right. And I think, in a sense, there's sometimes a little bit of nepotism between people within certain things where they say, okay, so I'm in my environment, I won't talk to people in that environment. And yet there's people in that environment will come across and they say, well, I've got a right to express myself in whichever way I want to be. I can go into a club and I'm sitting there, and you get people coming in that look like rabbits, and people that come in bringing lions and tigers in there. I mean, last time I went into a nightclub, the only animal you could take into a nightclub was a guide dog, and that was if you were blind. You can't take lions and tigers. You can't go in there dressed up as a dragon. You can't go in there as an animal and put a whole menagerie in there. People in Second Life do. And yeah, okay, so they've got a right to do that, but they haven't got a right then to expect the whole club to then reorganise themselves around the fact that they decide to turn up as a rabbit. Yeah, that's my 2 penny worth on that.
Zia mentioned, Ravina, sorry, mentioned skins. Is it just me, or are they looking younger? And
Oh, hey,
younger?
Zia.
I think skins just look younger because they use heavily photoshopped.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was having this talk with Clara, and like that's another thing that, for a new player, it's bad expectation setting, because you see the trailer or the preview or whatever, you see this face, you're like, oh, that's pretty, and then you realize it says, well, we have the skin and we included the shape. Now, in theory, if you have the skin and you have the brow shape and you have the face shape, it should look pretty similar to what you're seeing there, but it's nowhere near. It's not just that they edit the hair, it's that the whole thing looks nowhere near what you will get in Second Life. It's deceptive as hell. And I'm sorry, there are, some what's it called? Some stores that are better than others. Like the one where I got Denise's face is pretty good. Like, you can get pretty close. But some of them, and I will name names. Glamour Fair is an example. It's completely divorced from what you see on your character. And I think that's deceptive advertising, and they shouldn't do that. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, the idea of people using AI pictures to advertise products which they're selling in Second Life, I think, is completely wrong, because AI, by definition, is going to manipulate those images, and it's not going to.
Glamour Fair always had their pictures. Okay, hold on. I need to switch the bubbles because she doesn't have voice. Bubbles. Oops. Show chat bubble. Can someone say something in the chat to make sure it's working? Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, Zia can hear us. I know you can hear us,
Yeah,
Zia,
I know.
so welcome.
I just wanted the chat to show up on her avatar so we can see it on YouTube.
Yeah, for me, the problem with that idea, like with all these faces, I try all of them because they will look nothing like the preview. So it might actually be the case. It's like alchemy, right? You might get an outcome that's really positive for your shape, but you have to try every single time because the preview is not representative at all from what you get.
Yeah.
Okay, outfit of the day. Clowny wants
I saw a demo from Enlight, like someone's mentioning Enlight in chat. And I saw a demo on one of the events, and I opened it, and it had like 15 objects, and with weird naming conventions and letters and numbers, and I'm sure there was a guide somewhere in that mess on how to put on the demo. But honestly, I've been here now for several months, and if I can't figure out how to put your demo together, I'm probably not gonna bother with it. And that's exactly what I did. Like when I saw the clutter of stuff that I would have to figure out, I'm like, yeah, I have a decent texture now. I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah.
I think I've only ever bought
Zia
one.
looks amazing. The ears are phenomenal.
Yep. I just did a full-on close-up on her.
There it goes. Yeah, it's coming through on YouTube now.
Yeah.
A lot of work in that. Yeah, appreciate that.
That's cool.
Do you want to look like that myself? No, but then but I still appreciate that the creativity in that, and yeah, that's great.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Can't wait to see what you're going to wear for Halloween, Zia.
Oh God, I
Andy,
need to get to work on that.
Yeah.
Denise found you.
I need to work on that too. And we need to work
Andy.
on the boat as well.
We're not even into October yet. I don't regard Halloween
we'll
as being anything until
Right.
Next week. Again, next week
Yeah.
we'll talk about it. All right, next. So we've talked about the skins. Oops, I have the thing. Okay, what?
Denise found you a costume though, Andy.
I've got a whole succession of various costumes or things.
Yeah,
which
things
I
you've
often
already
wear around
worn. Don't you want something new? Never mind. We'll talk about this in a
Well,
week.
I'm very happy. I've got a whole load of different costumes on various cartoon characters.
I was
and
gonna
things
but
wear
you've
like
this.
already worn all of it.
I was gonna wear this for this, but I decided to
wear it
save
again.
it for later.
that. I don't mind wearing the same thing again. I'm not that. I'm not.
No,
I'm, you know,
Andy,
I'm
she
not
found.
proud.
Click the link.
Oh, what's this? A happy guy mask.
Clara is Halloween season all year round.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
You know what we should do? We should all show up wearing this, like to the stream.
Yes.
Just open the stream with it.
I actually remember seeing a guy in Ireland that looked like this, which is a bit of a shame, really. But yeah, I don't think I'd want to look like that, to be honest with you. I'd rather look like myself. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned that way.
Don't be such a hater, Andy. Come on.
I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying I'd rather look like myself. That's not hating anything. I'd just rather look like me.
I don't know if he. I
That's
don't know,
the point of
baby. Do
Halloween,
you
though,
think?
is to not
do you-
look like you.
Yeah. Do you
But I
think that
don't-
Halloween
but
is evil or something?
but I'm very
it's
happy
just about
looking like
dressing
me.
up.
I don't-
It's about
I
dressing
don't
up
want-
and decorating. Like it's
Why-
not about evil spirits and stuff anymore.
Why would I want to look like somebody else? Why would I want to look? You know, why would I want to look like a cartoon?
It's fun
and let
to
the
dress
cartoon
up.
have all the fun. I just like looking
What?
like me.
It's
I'm
just
like
fun to dress up.
Well, not
yeah,
everybody
but-
likes to dress up. That's okay. Why are you giving him a hard time?
I don't
So
know.
funny.
Yeah, they're
I
trying
don't
to, they're
know.
trying to coerce me to looking
Yeah.
like something that's completely off the wall, and I don't see the point. Frank, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Well,
It's
no,
fine,
no,
Clara.
actually,
we
so
have time.
I was
we have
referring
time.
to. Well, okay, but I was referring to the Fred Flintstone stuff.
I don't want to look like Fred Flintstone.
There you go.
Fred,
Really?
It was
Fred
a thong,
Flintstone.
baby.
Fred Flintstone's already got that gig, and he does remarkably well at it. I don't think I could ever do that.
No, it was a thong. It was a hot Fred.
Yeah. When we get to Halloween and we have a party or something, I might wear something then. But Halloween isn't for another month yet,
because
so
we're going to do the whole
no, I don't.
thing.
No, I don't have to. No, I don't have to. I can wear what I like, and I choose to look like me. Okay?
Okay.
Call me old-fashioned. Call me whatever you like. I choose to look like me.
The irony that you and
I'm
I
true to
found each
myself on
other.
that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm super
Yeah.
glad that I found you. Don't get me wrong, but we're like opposites in this.
Yeah, but
I am all
love
Halloween,
is
all
not about
out of-
being the same, though. It would be boring if you were both the same.
No. I know.
You need
Parallel
to be,
play.
Yeah, I think you complement each other. I think that's what love is about.
Oh, thank you.
Complementing each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm just commenting that it's funny that I am all about Halloween and he is not.
Not. Yeah.
It's fine,
Halloween.
Clara.
Halloween
we'll coordinate
is one.
and
is
we'll dress
Halloween
up
to
together.
me is Halloween to me
There's
is one
death
night
becomes
before.
their dresses.
Halloween to me is one night before All Saints Day, and that's not for another month yet. So I'm quite entitled to wear what I like and look like me for another month before I even start thinking about Halloween. And that's what I'm
Well,
going to do.
Denise and I are going to
He's already giving ground.
On...
He's already starting to understand the inevitability of getting dressed up for Halloween.
No, I can get dressed up for Halloween, but I'll do it at Halloween. I won't do it a month before.
And we yeah.
I
and
mean,
we-
you
and
start
we're doing
choosing
the
it a month
Halloween
before.
we're doing the podcast on Halloween, are we? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. I'll,
It's Saturday. Halloween is Friday.
Wait, did you
That's
say
okay.
butt house? There's a butt house?
What?
Just what?
Oh, I
You
thought I
said
heard you
hot
say... No, I thought I heard Chris say something about a butt house.
No.
No.
No,
Butt
but Halloween's
house.
on a Friday.
Friday.
I don't know
which
what a
is-
bot house is.
Which is Saturday for me. No, is it?
Yeah, that's
no,
fine.
it's Saturday.
Yeah, but
yeah, we did say
we
we
won't-
would do it on the 1st.
We can do it then. It'd be completely fine.
we could do it on a Friday night,
You
honey.
told us
We can't.
ages ago that we would do it on the 1st. We would
do
move.
it.
You know what we have to do?
Yeah,
Let
we cannot,
Clowny
Andy.
pick Andy's outfit.
We cannot do. I mean, you could come over here, but I have to stay at Cinna on Friday.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
we'll
but
talk
we can-
about
we
it.
can-
We'll talk about it another time. This is not for the podcast.
We've got
Um,
it's weeks away, so we don't have to worry about it yet, do we?
And let's talk about things
We
that
should
are
plan.
actually interesting. Yeah, okay, we can plan outside the podcast, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Chris is moving. Chris is being masterful. Chris, I do like it when you're masterful. I really do.
Andy, will you stop
we
flirting with
do
everyone
like
else?
that domination thing
Yes,
going on
let's talk
sometimes.
about topics, second life topics or life topics that is not around Halloween, please. We're still in
Yeah.
September. Okay, what was next? What was on the agenda with the Zoom call? That's all they talked
There was an
about,
agenda.
really. No,
Quinn-
there was no
Quinn-
agenda,
Quinn-
but the
I've just
Zoom
seen-
call, that was
I've just
all.
seen Quinn pop up on Ask the Question. The simple answer to that is going to be yes. Okay, we will do that, but we're not going to do it just yet. We'll plan it out before, when we get near the time.
Well, it won't be on Halloween.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it'll be
Okay.
All Saints Day. Isn't that too late? British
I
fan.
think-
Okay,
Should
can
be
we
that
talk
weekend, should be that
about a
weekend.
date later outside the podcast, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about something else. I don't know what now.
Back to the pod. He's completely blown
Oh,
everything
no.
out. Yeah.
We've been on this for over an hour now.
Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
we're
was
usually
71.
on for 2.5
Wow.
hours, so that's not really exceptional.
We're not going to be doing two. I'm not going to be 2.5 hours tonight myself.
No, but what I
I'm
mean is
knackered,
like,
but
it's not 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour goes fast, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Time flies. Time flies when you're having fun, right? So, yeah. Other things. So
Is
we had that
there-
podcast.
yeah,
There's
is there
new
any
things
other-
coming through on the. There was new things for the premium bus users, wasn't there? There was new things, developments from Apple, and the fact that they think that if you're using an Apple device, it's going to run an awful lot quicker for you in the future, which is great. Wouldn't it be lovely if they could do that for Windows users too? That would be nice. What else is coming out, Chris? Is there anything else coming?
No, that was all, basically.
Okay.
That was the gist of the Zoom call. And while the other part was Brad, asking everybody to help bring in new users as usual. But yeah, and if anyone has ideas, he said to come to the leadership, and if you have a really good idea, plan to how to bring in people, that they would be listening.
Well, okay. I've already said what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
make
they
it
want you
compelling. Make
to,
it persuasive.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they want you, if you have an idea, a specific idea, like Matt P did this year or last year, when they got 6 months free membership. This kind of idea, something that you want to cut a deal with Linden Lab. This is what I can do, which would help bring people, blah blah blah. Have a plan, specific plans, proof that it could work. You can actually go to them and discuss that idea, and they would cut a deal. To Linden Lab.
Yeah, I'm with Clowny. You want ideas? Hire me.
But they
Yeah.
would pay you if it's would pay you. I mean, if it's an idea, I don't know.
Oh, but that's what I mean. Like, if you're asking for ideas like what we've been saying here, then awesome. But the whole, like, oh, you have to have a whole project plan or whatever. It's like, yeah, pay me. Otherwise, take
Yeah,
the idea, be
but
grateful,
that's it.
and
Like-
make it happen.
Yeah, but if you look at the MatP plan, like they did 6 months membership, MatP got paid for that. Like they can't do 6 months membership for free. I doubt that. They would have had to cut a deal with Linden Lab.
I get it, but what I'm saying is they're asking for ideas. There's a lot of good ideas going around. And, you know, I know we're not the only people seeing the issue with new characters and onboarding. So, you know, maybe they should get to fixing that so that when they do a campaign or whatever, people will actually stay and not, you know, leave.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they want a suggestion, I suggest that they go out and they find a consultant or someone that actually knows how to sell stuff. And then take a good, shrewd look at everything that Second Life is offering right now in terms of what it is, the people it serves, how the experience starts for people that come to Second Life, etc. And then say, right, construct me a way of selling this to a new audience.
I think
they've got millions of dollars out there which they could use for anything like this. It wouldn't cost millions of dollars to get a guy to put together a report on something like that. Basically provide that starter interface to make that first user experience more compelling and making people more willing to do that. Once they put that in place, then they need to go back in. They need to make the thing aesthetically looking better, which they're starting to make headways to do that. But you know, in terms of a marketing campaign, and where do you see the adverts for Second Life? I don't see them. I'd expect to see something maybe on, I don't know, on Facebook or.
I think I actually saw one on Facebook. Yeah, but from the Second Life account. So if you're not following it, I don't know how they boost it, but I did see one.
So if you're not following, that's fantastic, isn't it? Just think of the logic of that. The only people that they're selling it to are people that are already in Second Life, and they're advertising to the people that are already there, and they want to get new people in. Where is the crazy logic in that?
Of course, Andy, because you're supposed to share it for free. Do the free advertising for them.
They need to basically take, I don't know, an extra $20,000 or something like that, and start putting it into a medium that's new, and to get a whole new audience together. And if they start Facebook does that, Google does that, Amazon does that. Well, not so much Amazon. You know, there's organisations out there that provide media, and they could put something out like that as a freebie in a box and stuff, and literally it get people to click on the box, and it takes you to the interface, and they can start seeing how they can actually make that happen. That will generate new people.
And not just that, look at every game ever. Like look at World of Warcraft. Look at Final Fantasy. How do they do it? They have an active creator community. They support that creator community, and they give them the resources. They put a spotlight on them.
Yeah, they don't support us. This is what I've been saying
and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they honestly, if it's working, it's them.
Yeah, they're not. And they said that on the first Zoom meeting, Brad did say, we will support you, vloggers and bloggers, try to help you get some traffic, because if you get traffic, then we get traffic. They've never done that. The only people that get favors from Linden Lab are still the same people. And the rest of us, like me, who talk about Second Life every single week, we get excluded because we're not saying just the nice little thing that they want to hear. But it doesn't mean I don't love Second Life and I'm not promoting Second Life.
These guys want something new. They want new blood. They want new developments. They want an interface that looks better. They want a whole new experience. They want to get new people in because it's going to make them more money. Guess what? If you keep doing things the same way you've always done, you're going to end up with the same result. So if you really want to do something new and get new people in there, do something new, sell it to them in a new way, make the new experience user friendly so they don't scare the living daylights out of them when they actually get here, and make them want to stay. Don't try and sell a horse to the person that's already got the stable. Yeah? That's that this isn't rocket science, but I keep
And honestly, this is gonna sound bad, but the creator economy has to come second to growing the medium. Because if you grow the medium, the creator economy will come. So honestly, what I think they should do, and this might sound crude or whatever, you need to twist the arms of creators. Listen, Lelutka, you gave me some heads, I'm gonna need 6. Listen, Legacy, thanks, but I'm gonna need this. And and put a call together for creators to contribute so that you can drastically increase the value proposition of the game that makes you want to spend on it and invest on it. I think that's the first step. Like, they need to stop thinking of it like, oh, hey, how about you give me a little demo so that it'll drive people to buy from you? It's like, no, if you want your platform to continue to grow and for you to be able to keep making money, you're going to need to help me grow this thing because you're actually making money off my platform. So help me. And yes, Clowny, Lelotka gave me head. It gave all of us head.
Guess what? You can't use it.
Yes, you can.
You can't use it, can you?
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Hey, wait.
Why can't you
put
use
that
it?
head on. You put that head on.
It
and see what
works.
happens.
It's the same head without the HUD. Like, and that's the other thing. It's the same head without the HUD. Exactly the same thing. The shapes work, the skins work, but you cannot modify it via the HUD. So if you put on an applier, good luck.
Oh, okay. I've got them, but never used them. So I don't know.
And it's I went into a folder to try and have a look at some of these. Just I thought, oh, what is it? What is these new things in there? Is it something I can try and use in connection with my avatar? And I looked at it and suddenly realised, no, I can't. I thought, well, what's the point of that then? If I can't use it, and I've been in Second Life for a number of years now. What chance is a new person that's got no experience in Second Life?
Legacy, right? Your body is Legacy, right?
I just changed to Legacy a couple of months ago. That doesn't matter.
Okay, then the welcome pack should work. It's just it doesn't have alphas. Like the body that you get with a welcome pack, you don't get auto alpha and you don't get a HUD to use like manual alpha.
Yeah.
So as you might imagine, it gets ugly.
I'm going to view what you're saying to me, Denise, as a new person that hasn't got a clue what you're talking about, and I'm going to say you've just blown the back of my head off. I would not know I would not understand what you've just said to me.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I'm not talking to a new person though. Like for a new person, it should just be like we said, like a simplified experience.
That's a good point, though. It's like nobody knows that they're getting half a head or half a body.
Yeah.
Because they're new.
Oh, but they will. But they will. They will because the second they go to a store and they say, "Oh, these eyelashes should look pretty. Let me try them." And then you equip the demo eyelashes and you realize there's no way to take them off. At least not an easy, intuitive way to do it. Because at least they could include like a removal HUD or something, but they don't. So you're stuck with a demo eyelash thing, and now you don't know how to take it off.
And that's That's assuming that you've put the thing on in the first place. Because when you start it, you actually don't start with those defaults. You start with a classic avatar as a default, and then you can go and add those things to make it something that's more interesting. But you've got to know how to do that. You've got to know where that folder is to be able to apply it.
I created an alt, I think it was, 2 days ago? What the hell, Clowny? Listen, I created an avatar. It's like, and now I'm losing my train of thought because of Clowny. And that avatar actually had the welcome pack equipped. And, it was, in my case, I wanted to create a male avatar because it's a project that I have. And so I went and was like, okay, I want to create a male avatar. And they gave me a female avatar. So I had to switch it. I had to go to avatar, change avatar, and I was able to do it, right? But it's like you said, if I don't know where to go to change it, I'm in trouble because I got the wrong gender. So it still has worked. It has a ways to go.
What the hell is that? Sorry, I was just seeing Clowny appear on the YouTube thing. I'm facing the other way. What the heck? Okay. Well, he's wearing a straitjacket, so he's pretty well dressed for the occasion then.
Yeah, that's a very appropriate outfit for Clowny, to be honest.
This is so cool, though.
He's wearing Crocs. I don't know what's more disturbing, seeing Clowny with a meat cleaver in his head or wearing Crocs.
See, that's a good point. Oh, God. This totally got derailed.
During the time I was vet tech, there was a lot of... at a couple different clinics that I was at, there was always crackdowns on the dress code. We can't be wearing Crocs in here. You can't just wear Crocs. and I don't pay attention to people's feet when I'm at work, and I'm thinking to myself, how are you all even comfy in those? They're awful shoes.
You know, horses for courses. Some people like them, some people don't. I tend to think that something like Crocs are something you wear on a beach to stop the stand getting into your main shoes and stuff. And that's
It's not
Crocs are
comfy
an
to
abomination.
wear. I can't even hardly walk in them. They're so uncomfy.
I don't know.
They're
I don't
stiff
think
and
they're
they're
really
not
cool.
shaped like a foot.
Yeah.
I mean, they are, but they're not. I don't know.
I don't like them.
Yeah.
I did want to highlight something that James said in chat,
Yeah.
where he was talking about how he was asked to provide clothing for the welcome packs. After discussion with a team of group members, there was too much upset that people were getting stuff for free when they had paid for it. I think that's the point. Like, there's so much gatekeeping in this community. It's like, okay, fine, you paid for it, I understand. It's a simplified version, maybe you strip it down or whatever. Or maybe you call on people to develop something simple, I don't know. But honestly, there's so much stuff already here that it shouldn't be so hard to, you know, get people to give something up.
You're going to get people arguing over that. You know, every time you produce a head, or okay, let's take an example. Every time you produce, say, a jacket, and you produce that jacket, and you may be selling it for, say, I'll pick figures at random here, guys. 500 Lindens for a jacket, and that's great. And then a month down the line, you put in a 50 Linden Friday promotion. And you know, all the people that spend 500 on it will then look at it and say, Jesus, I could have bought this for 50. That's more acceptable to people, but then basically saying, okay, so the developer is providing a cut price or a cut down version, which isn't the same as the full blown version that people is buying, and they're doing it to enhance the welcome experience for new people. And we're saying, yeah, they're getting it for free. Well, they're not getting it for free because they're not even getting the same thing. It just happens to look similar, but you can't use it when you actually want to go out there. It's a question of perception. It's a question of how the thing. That's
I'm
scary.
back.
Welcome back.
That's scary. Getting naked on YouTube.
Yeah,
Chris. I mean,
stop
you should be
acting
ashamed.
out, Chris.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
What do you
really.
mean
Come on.
naked? I don't see any nakedness. I see orange cloud.
Well, you might not see yourself naked, but we did.
We sure did.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
watching the screen and it didn't.
She's worried now.
Yes. It
Oh.
didn't. You are all lying.
I know, but you where'd you going though, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so looking ahead for this week, what plans have people got? Is there anything good happening in Second Life this week? Is it any plans, or are there any more talks coming up, or Zoom calls, or new promotions? Chris, do you know of anything new?
Nope. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on.
I know
Oh
that we've
yes,
got-
there is the Philip Rosedale thingy about voice.
Whoa. Okay.
The meeting, yeah. Let me just reopen the link. Join Philip Rosedale for a voice server conversations and load test. So I think they're testing the new voice system.
Awesome.
Q&A with Philip. Bring your voice-related questions and join the discussion. Voice update. Your input matters. Technical milestone. Is it this week though? Next week? Oh yeah, next week.
October the 1st. That's in 3 days' time.
Yeah. I did. Yes, I did book that in my calendar, and I also got an invite, which is for the wrestling team. So I don't really know.
Wrestling?
Yeah, they wanted me. They're celebrating the Full Circle, September 30th,
I'd never put
1 p.m.
I'd never put you down as being a wrestler, Pris.
I am not a wrestler, but they've asked me to join them. They want me to make an appearance.
Do they want you to wrestle?
I did try. It's very hard to wrestle in Second Life. Well, I imagine it's hard in real life, but yeah, it is very hard.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's hard to walk in Second Life.
Yeah, but the wrestling, they've got a
Have you tried walking into like a thickly decorated sim and you get like 4 frames per second and everything is gray, you can't even see, you're like walking into a wall and all of a sudden you freeze and then you start like moonwalking Michael Jackson style because you're rubber banding back to wherever your connection decided to exist?
Well, just go and try and
Can you imagine wrestling?
Yeah, well, it is very hard. I don't know how they do it because they have to read the lines. They have a story going on. They have so many people. They have to pay attention. It's full on. Like, I don't know how they do it because I tried to do just one move and oh my gosh, it took me an hour to figure it out. And yeah, no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
So basically, you've been invited along for people to come and beat you up. Okay, can I come along to that? I'd like to see that.
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Zia's posted a link in the Second Life chat viewer, and she's talking about a Reddit post relating to Lumia. Thank you for that, Zia. We were talking about Lumia a little bit earlier tonight. And because that was more of an Android type application, and I think I said at the time, wouldn't it be great to update that to get around security problems which took it off the Play Store and then put it back on that way, and then effectively we would have what potentially could be a viewer working on both iOS and Google Play, and effectively we then got most of the ecosystem for Second Life on a mobile platform working. Wouldn't that be great? Everyone goes quiet. So
I don't know. Apple is dead to me. You're all weird.
How hard can this be? Someone's already built a Lumia viewer. They did it years ago. Just update it and get around security problems, which will not be quite as difficult, I have no doubt. Because it's much better just making sure you express address those critical issues and get around those than building something brand new from the ground up. And if you then do that and you can just tweak those elements to bring those in line, then you've saved yourself a hell of a lot of time, and put that back out in the public domain where people can use it again. And hey, guess what? Maybe some of those people that download that app then could actually be new users of Second Life. How hard can it be?
They did mention they're bringing in. They've seen an increase in new users. It is slight, but yeah, they did mention that.
Okay.
A small increase. But they didn't.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, Zia. It's like retention rate is the key thing. That's the key metric. It doesn't matter that you have a bunch of people creating accounts. If as soon as they zone in, as it was the case on the alt that I made, that's what I was talking about. Now I remembered. Like I spawned at the original, like the OG starter zone. It wasn't one of the new welcome areas. Again, this has happened twice now when I've created alts. And it's like, if you're a new player and that's what you get dropped into, man, you're gonna run around, like you're gonna just turn around and run because it's awful. It's dated as hell. It looks awful.
Yeah. I remember when I started, I had to go through an assault course to get into Second Life. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, this one was like a jungle. It was weird. And then on another character, I was underwater in a pirate stronghold or some crap. It was the weirdest thing. It must have been cool back in 2004 when it was created.
Yeah. Oh, well. So there we go. Other things. Yes, I'm going to be picking a Halloween outfit for me to wear in a month's time when we get to Halloween. I may also put together some outfit for some other occasions that we've got coming up in Second Life and in the real world, and reflecting that in Second Life too. So I think about things. I might even go shopping and wear something new. Chris, you will be stunned. I know, because I always wear the same clothes. I don't go to events.
You've been changing.
You just went
lately.
shopping.
I've seen you with wearing. Every time I've seen you so far lately, you've had something different. I mean, it might be the same clothes or just changing the texture, but it still looks different.
It is. That's exactly what I've been doing. I haven't bought anything new for about 6 months, and I haven't been to any events. I haven't needed to.
You just bought new shit the other day when we were supposed to be hanging out.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So events and things and shopping doesn't really interest me unless it's something new, and frankly, I don't see anything, so I don't buy it. So it would be nice to maybe go out and find something.
Come on, Andy, be like everyone else. Wear a Deadpool suit.
I've got the Deadpool suit. I don't need another one.
Everybody has the Deadpool suit.
Yeah, because it's a half decent suit and it fits.
Yes.
What choices do we have? I could maybe go and get a suit from somebody else, which is probably using the same mesh as the Deadpool suit.
You could wear one of those ugly suits without socks, like the whole thing that's fashionable now, where you wear like this loose-fitting white shirt and then like khaki pants, like really short, so they don't reach your ankles. And then you wear like the little moccasin things with no socks, and you can look weird as hell.
That's what Don Johnson was wearing back in the early 80s, wasn't he?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
But you know how it is with fashion. Everything comes back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, but I don't want to look like a guy that was 40 odd years ago. Yeah. So,
He was hot.
Hey, you could even wear one of those blocky beards. Just a hair base, and then you wear like dark eyeglasses.
Oh, it just looks awful. Yeah, and the other thing that makes me laugh is that a lot of men go around with long hair. And correct me, but I think even Michael Bolton had a haircut in about 20 years ago when he got sick of the fashion. So why the hell is guys over here now going?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'll be honest, because I'm actually, have my project, the Male Avatar project. It's partly because I want to see how bad it is for male avatars, really, and if I can make a decent one, right? And it's like you're down to hair bases with toupees, where it looks like you're just wearing a dead animal on top of your head.
Yeah.
And you have the wild mane, where you look like you're Tarzan or Conan or whatever the hell.
How long are they? It's true though.
And then for tattoos, you have prison ink, or literally full body black tattoo, which I want to know why you can't just have like a normal person tattoo. It's awful, honestly. I feel for you.
Can I say something random here, Denise? I don't actually like a tattoo. Maybe I'm being too radical or out there or something on there. I don't see the point of having a tattoo. So I haven't got one.
Yeah, and that's fair. Like in my case, because I'm a role player. Yeah, in my case, because I'm a role player, each tattoo, like for my character, means something. In fact, she just got a new one. But that's specific to the character. I don't mind the way, ink looks, but as a guy, I wouldn't wear any. Because they look awful. It's all prison ink. It's like if you're not...
Well, they do. They do.
If you're not thug
don't.
adjacent, you don't get to wear ink apparently.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm true to myself. I'd rather look like me. I don't want to look like someone who scroll all over. Actually, if I see a lot of people that are really heavily tattooed in the real world, I've got to be honest with you. I'm a bit wary of them. It's because sometimes you find they can be quite aggressive and violent, and I'm not that kind of guy. Sorry about that. Ravenna's said that I need armor. I don't know quite why I would need armor for. I go,
We're going to fight.
Maybe it might be useful if I was on a shopping expedition to Tesco or something like that, with the amount of aggressive women with their shopping carts trying to bash into me. But apart from that, I don't need a suit of armor. I'm sorry, that's the point of it.
Well, I mean, I'm actually putting together kind of a fantasy look, or if I ever want to visit like a role-playing sim that has that going, I'll have something to wear. I found a couple of good stores. They actually recommended several, so that's been fun. But it's kind of a side project, because that is the other thing. It's like, if you're not wearing modern contemporary, you're in trouble. Everything is old as hell.
Yeah.
You don't have to do much to bankrupt me. Like, this morning, I had 23 Linden to my name, okay? So, you're not gonna bankrupt me. I did that myself, okay?
I only put Linden's on my account when I need it there. I'm not one of these guys that likes to build up, 10,000 on an account and then use that as a pool for everything I want to do. I'll literally just put the money on there when I need it. And actually, if you get the dangers of people that potentially can hack into your account and then start taking whatever you've got on there, that's a security thing for me. And I'm very wary on payment verification, that kind of stuff sitting on my Linden account, because someone hacks into my account, they've got a fast pass straight into my bank account, and that ain't going to happen. Sorry, guys. If you think that my account, my avatar, is only a genuine avatar, if I've got payment verification on it, sorry, it doesn't work that way. From a security point of view, I'd rather not put payment verification on there, frankly.
You have verification on your account.
I've got some verification on there. You'll find actually it doesn't work because I've taken the details off it. And the reason I've taken the details off it is I've taken the details off it purely so that people can't. If I ever get my account hacked, people then can't get into my bank account and start racking up big bills on it. Because that's one of the difficulties you have when you're dealing with an open source and storing your data on that open source viewer, because if someone else gets to that thing, they've got access to that information. It's data protection. It's sound practice. You can talk to anybody that works in internet security and they'll tell you the same thing. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's wild. Male avatar stuff is kind of wild.
It's very much of a muchness. You've got the. It's just you have a bit of a laugh about the dead wall suit, but Deadwall Cold
to be clear, I'm getting a Deadwall suit.
Yeah, Deadwall Cold Dash I use like a go-to for so many guys out there, simply because it's reasonable quality. It doesn't look bad. It actually fits, and you haven't got stupid parts of your anatomy jutting through or awkward angles on some of the things which don't work there. There's other stuff out there. I've seen stuff that I could wear. I'll call them trousers. I know the Americans call them pants, which effectively are down around my knees. I mean, wasn't that a homophobic gesture for people that were in jails in the West Coast area or something? I think at one point. And frankly, I'd rather not look like I've just got out of jail. I'd also rather not look like I've just done 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. So I'm not into having scars all over my face or piercings everywhere or covered in tattoos. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything for me. I just like to look like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Anyway, we've been talking for the best part of the last 2 hours, Pris.
Andy, are we gonna do the thing
Yeah.
after?
So I'm thinking it might be an idea, maybe with these new things that are coming up this week. It'd be interesting to see how the new voice works when they do that experiment. Interesting to see some of these new developments. So please keep us all posted on those elements, Chris, and some of the new things. I know you've got some more podcasts coming up too. But yeah, looking forward to seeing all those things in the course of next week or so, and meeting everybody again from my own personal point of view in a week's time. Good to see everybody. If you want to join these whole things again, and we say this every week, please, everybody else does on YouTube too, but there's a reason. Like us, subscribe us. It helps to support our channel. We're not asking for money here, but it helps support what we're doing in these things, and gives us obviously a bit of appreciation from the people that want us to try and go out and see out these things, and have the balls to give you guys an independent point of view that isn't sponsored by a corporation or a store or wherever. And we do this thing purely for the goodness of our own heart, to be informative and to for everybody's mutual benefit. We don't do it because we have a personal vendetta or a personal objective, and we're certainly not on anybody else's payroll. So please like us, subscribe, tell your friends.
Yeah.
Let's make this thing happy. It's lovely to be a sit down here. We've got Clowny, we've got Zia. We've got like 7 people here, 8 people. Well, 8 people if we include the alpaca. Sitting here. It's lovely. It's lovely to see you all guys. Chris, I'm going to let you wrap it all up for tonight. But yeah, great to see everybody.
Yes.
Just one correction. Clowns aren't people.
Wow. Wow. Why aren't there people?
Just look at it.
Oh, it's a it now. Not even a look at him. It's look at it.
By the way, there's only 5 people
Chris,
here.
Are you going to wrap this up, or are we going to?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I was just reading the comment. Thank you very much for coming. They're writing, so I'm just thank you for the stream. All good. Okay. Doesn't say anything negative about someone's intelligence. Well, I do agree with that. I mean, it depends, though. I
agree about intelligence, but let's face it. I mean, it's art on your body, right? It's the same as you could perfectly say that the way someone dresses is a statement about them. So, the art you put on your body says something about you too.
Okay,
I would agree that the fact of putting something on your body doesn't say anything, but what you choose to put on your body probably does.
I did a video back at uni. We had to interview some people, and it was my daughter's friend. The tattoo she wears, she's decided that she wanted to study criminology for some reason, and she thinks that wearing the tattoos of the biggest murderers in Australia is a cool thing. So she has tattoos of some of the most well-known murderers in history that did the most horrific thing to people. So what does that say about her?
What? What?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is just the silence of consternation, Chris.
I thought we were saying good night to everybody, but you seem to be want to keep going now.
Well, because we were talking about tattoos, and just carry on saying, having tattoo doesn't say anything negative about someone's intelligence, work ethic, or kindness.
Maybe 100 years ago, but or 200 years ago, but now, like, yeah, it does say something about them and their personality and everything, but I don't think it says anything about kindness or intelligence. Unless they have like a Nazi tattoo on their forehead that says something huge about kindness and intelligence. But anyways.
But
now nose piercings on the other hand.
Nose piercings? Those are getting trendy. Or they've been trendy for a minute.
Is it a bad thing to have a nose piercing?
Yeah. Yeah, like a little stud on your nostril. Yeah, or some really trendy people have like a little, what's the cow thing? Nothing.
I've got my nose pierced too.
You haven't seen that meme? Bless your soul. Yeah, continue.
What do you mean? You're judging the people that have nose piercing?
Oh, I'm not. It's just a thing going around right now.
Oh, is it?
About how, especially women with nose piercings are crazy.
Oh, really? Oh, well, sorry, I'm crazy then.
It's a meme at this point.
Oh, okay.
No, it's too common and trendy to just declare that about everyone with a nose piercing.
Yeah, but it's... I mean, you shouldn't be judged because you want to have...
It's like any stereotype. No, what they're saying really is that there is a trend in certain types of content that you see. It's not even nose piercings. It's specifically nose rings. And it's like, not all people who have nose rings are crazy, but a lot of the crazy people happen to have nose rings.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know enough people with nose rings, but I've seen a lot of nose rings like in my everyday life for the past few years, and now it's online too.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah,
really
it is a stereotype.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that have piercings, and including my daughter and stepdaughter.
Andy says all that he says about tattoos, and I have tattoos IRL. So.
Okay.
I mean, you don't think I'm like straight out of prison, do you, baby?
No, me neither. Oh, Clara, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I was saying goodnight to people about 10 minutes ago, but we've started talking about tattoos again. So I will say one thing. Obviously, I do a lot of work with club fraternity and with clubs and venues and things out in the real world. And one of the things that you do find on door security in a number of places, and this isn't outdated, and it isn't being focused or it isn't pointing at people. What a lot of them actually do is they ask people to roll their sleeves up and they look for tattoos. If they find a tattoo or like a sleeve or something like that there, it is quite often the case that they will decline those people entry. The reason for that is that a tattoo culture, and I know it's changing, the world is changing a little bit, so tattoos are becoming a little bit more acceptable, but they find that generally the people that have those kind of tattoos tend to create or make more aggressive and be more confrontational, particularly if they might have had a drink as well.
So in 2013, 2014, I already had 2 or 3 of my 3 tattoos.
Well, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what clubs and venues. I'm talking about working
at a pet store.
I'm talking about clubs and bars in the real world. Well, I'm not focusing on any particular person.
At a pet store in the real world.
I'm not making this personal to you, Clara. I'm talking about what the attitudes of door security are for security.
But family-friendly pet stores.
Yeah, but even jobs back in the days, they were judging you by the tattoo you were wearing or the piercing. It was harder to get a job if you had tattoos or piercing.
By 2013, 2014, the pet stores in America at least didn't care as long as it was not offensive. Is what I was about to say. Attitudes
if you had
changing.
Tattoos, you had to wear long sleeve and hide the tattoos.
Yeah, still do.
Not anymore. Chipotle, like almost every
that's how it is here to this day.
No. At Chipotle, almost every employee has like full sleeve tattoos. It seems like.
Yeah, but that's because your country has sunk into degeneracy, Clara. That's why.
That could be.
We are a normal country. I don't know. Here, if you have him, you better cover him, or you're not getting an office job.
Yeah, Clara,
Who
you're dealing with a fast food joint, right? As opposed to an establishment where
What about
people
a
might want to make a
family-friendly
good
pet
impression.
store? What about a family-friendly pet store?
Well, the animals don't particularly care what you look like.
Yeah, but
Well,
we have
yeah,
customers all day and all
it's a
night,
conservative
including lots
thing.
of children.
But I think it is intimidating though if you meet someone and they are covered, like their full face is covered in tattoos.
No,
Like,
face
I'm not
tattoos are
judging
huge,
anyone,
no.
but
And neck
it is
tattoos are borderline.
It is intimidating to watch. You know.
Yeah, no,
You-
face tattoos. That's
You
that's
have
still
to.
considered
Yeah,
crazy here in
you will
America.
stare or try not to stare, but to me it is intimidating.
All right.
Anyway, Chris, do you want to wrap this up or not?
Okay, no worries. Okay, thank you very much for everybody, and we shall see you next week.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.
Let me just. You need outro music.
Chris and his podcast.
No, you know what we need?
That's it. That's it.
Yes.